everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live here on Behance. We are streaming live from Barcelona at the OFFF Festival. It's last day. It's kind of sad. But I'm here with my new friend, Verena Michelitsch.
Hi.
Welcome, Verena.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for having me.
This is not your first time, right?
No.
So you're a veteran. You know what's up.
Yeah.
You know what's gone. We have Terry in the chat. We've got Tim. What's up, Simon? Everyone, hello. We're going to be introducing Verena and talking about her work. But before you do that, make sure you say hello to her, because it's always nice to have a nice hello before the stream starts. And let us know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to hear. So if you don't know who Verena is, you should. And she's going to introduce herself and let you know what she works on.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a graphic designer and art director. I'm originally from Austria, from a small town called Graz.
Okay, cool.
And I moved to New York in 2011 and have been living and working here ever since.
Yeah.
And yeah, right now I'm working from my co-working space studio in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And before that I worked in a couple of different full-time jobs, decided to go freelance about a year ago.
Right.
And yeah, I first came to New York to do an internship at Stefan Sagmeister. Didn't really plan on staying in New York.
You got caught.
But got caught and yeah, have been there ever since.
That's awesome. And Mr. Sagmeister will be coming up next.
Yeah,
so make sure you stick around for that as well. Cool. I'd love to hear more about how you did the jump from full-time to freelance. But maybe we can talk about that after we introduce to your work so people can know what you're all about. Got a nice portfolio here on Behance, also a portfolio website. Is there a specific project you want to introduce us to first?
Sure, let's look at a branding project, Sasha and Luca maybe.
Cool, this is cute.
So this was one of my first freelance projects I worked on last year. It's a New York-based kids apparel brand called Sasha and Luca. And the brand is all about simplicity and versatility. The clothing is kind of like very basic but high quality.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's really about those like piping and like lines that you see. So that's like a strong element in their design language. So for that branding, I kind of picked up this idea of outlines and the framework, also kind of trying to incorporate the kind of factor of growth with these little things.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I created this kind of modular grid system where you could kind of create graphics around that. And I also worked on the art direction for it. So what I really love doing is, besides branding, coming up with a kind of photography style for everything. So
cute.
We worked on different campaigns throughout last year for that.
Right. Are you still working with this brand, or have you kind of just shipped it and now it's alive?
So yeah, we're still working on it. So whenever they do a new collection, we work on art direction and come up with new ideas for the collection.
Yeah, I definitely see this kind of piping and the trimming going on. So cute. If I were a child, I would definitely want to wear this.
Yeah, it's also super soft quality. It's really nice.
Cool. So you went from start to finish. You did the packaging, you did the tags.
Yeah, so I did the packaging. I got some help from my friend Christina Bartosova, who lives in Austria.
Cool.
But yeah, I did kind of the creative direction and the overall art direction for everything.
Right.
Yeah, and here you can kind of see how this whole system plays out. So it's kind of like really adaptable and yeah, it's kind of easy to transform graphics for different needs.
This is really interesting because when I first saw this, it's not necessarily like childlike or playful, but when you build graphics with them, it's definitely cute and playful and fun.
Yeah, I think one thing that we also attempted to do is to create a brand that feels unisex and it doesn't feel too cute. Because when you look into the kids' space, everything is like cute with a little flower or
it's like
kind
sugary.
Of childish, but then it also should appeal to their parents and their mothers. And yeah, so we thought about doing something that feels a bit more cool and not so cute.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Wow, so what is this? Like an information card?
That's just a flyer that comes with product and talks about their values
Nice. It's a mission that spans continents.
Yeah.
So cute. Yeah, Simon says, I love the pastel colors. Very summery. Yeah, I agree. Very fresh.
So these are note cards. Yeah, and if you click on the videos,
I love videos.
it kind of shows how this grid system can grow and transform and animate. There's more videos if you scroll down. Those are just short ones.
Very nice. Did they ask for this, or was this kind of like just part of the program you built?
They didn't necessarily ask for it, but I think it really helps with this specific graphic system to show it in motion.
Right, you kind of have to.
And in the end, we plan to use those for newsletters and things like that.
Oh, nice.
So here you can see the whole collection of clothing.
Wow.
And
Stripes.
more other action. Exactly.
Everybody's wearing stripes today. So cool. So it looks like there's a big team involved with this.
Yeah, there was a big team just because just the photo shoot production took a lot of time. The photographer just needed this whole crew to come to life because it's very tricky to do photo shoots with kids. And it needs like a special kids wrangler. I didn't know about that before.
Like a babysitter?
Yeah, it's kind of, as an art director, you usually work with the model and you talk to them and you try to like get the best out of them.
Right.
But with kids, you're actually not really supposed to talk to the kids, just because it makes them nervous if so many people look at them and want something from them.
Right.
So it's like a child psychologist that works on set and gets the kid to do whatever you want. It's really fascinating.
So you tell the adult and the adult like translates it for the child.
Exactly.
Wow, what a job to be a child psychologist and do that.
Yeah.
So this whole team that worked on this project, did you put it all together? Or was it Sasha and Luca that kind of...
So it was an old colleague of mine from a studio that I worked at, and she had this friend who founded this brand.
Right.
And she has experience with producing projects, and we just reached out to friends and people that we knew to get recommendations for photographers.
Right.
And usually those photographers would have a lot of recommendations, like which kids wrangler to use, which studio to use.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Totally.
And also the team behind Sasha and Luca is already quite big because it's 3 founders, and then they have people who had them with their work. So.
Right. Wow, that's cool. So the way that you even got this project was because you had a connection.
Yeah.
A friend of a friend had this brand.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you find that that's how you usually get work as a freelancer?
It does happen a lot. But sometimes it also just work comes through my website or Behance.
Yeah. Nice. Very cool. Let's look at another one, and I'd love to hear more about this jump from full-time to freelance because it seems like it's obviously working for you.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is that when I was in Austria, I already worked as a freelancer, so it's kind of untypical, but while I was in college, I already kind of co-founded design studio.
Nice.
So I was freelance in Austria for like 3 years or something before I moved to New York, and then I went back to doing an internship in New York again, just because it's like an easier way in.
To get in, totally. Yeah. Then your freelance just kind of came from there.
Yeah.
Cool. What's another one you'd like to talk about?
Maybe let's talk about this book project.
In chat, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We've got Verena for about another 50 minutes.
Yes.
Ask away. Ooh, I love these colors. Very, I don't know, textural and warm.
Yeah,
so
this
story?
Book project is for a Chicago-based photographer, Kevin Cerna.
Cool.
I'm really into kind of working with photographers just because I do a lot of art direction. I always meet new photographers.
Yeah.
And eventually he asked me to design a book which is really about like the relationship of him and his father. His father is Mexican and he grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
So he wanted to find out more about this little village that his father is from, and like wanted to find his roots and his family.
Wow.
And he took these photos over the course of 7 years, I think, and he collected little stories about each kind of chapter in this book.
Right.
And it was like really a lot of fun to lay this book out and work with him on a project, to come up with like a grid system, how to lay out photos and how to create like tension between photos.
Right, like especially right here.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
And then we created those little bookmarks.
Oh, cool.
For each chapter, because the book is kind of divided into 5 chapters, which is like each is a color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
red.
yeah, it tells the story about his father in Spanish and in English.
I love that. So had you ever laid out like something editorial like this or page layout? Or was this kind of a new thing for you?
No, I actually did a lot of editorial work back in Austria. One of our biggest clients was a theater in Austria, so we always did their yearly kind of annual books and programs.
Right.
But I did so much branding and art direction work in the past years that I kind of really missed laying out books.
Right,
Just because, the whole process, it takes longer, and it's also really nice to have this tactile thing in your hands after.
I agree.
So yeah, I'd love to do more book projects.
If you're out there, need a book done, contact Verena. And these are the different colored bookmarks that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Does the color have anything to do with the story?
Yeah, so the whole book is divided. The photos are almost like color coded. So he grouped photos into color groups, and these bookmarks divide the sections in the book.
Right.
It was actually the reason why it's bookmarks was kind of like a production related like issue. First we wanted to do divider pages, but it didn't work out with the page count, so we had to find out like a more like creative solution how to do that.
Yeah, that's a really creative solution. Did someone have to like go in and actually place these bookmarks?
Yes.
And everything? Was it you?
No, I didn't have to do that actually.
Thank goodness. Very cool. I love seeing the breadth of your work. Go from clothing line, branding, to laying out a book for kind of a memoir. So interesting. Ooh, Jamie, great question. What's up, Jamie? Nice to see you. How did you transition from full-time to freelance? Slowly or all at once?
In New York, I always did a little bit of freelance on the side. In the beginning, it was mainly because New York is so expensive. So I realized that I need to do some freelance work on the side to be able to live there, which helped me a lot because I got to know people, and I got a few projects on the side.
Yeah.
And then it didn't go that quickly, just because I also needed to get a work visa, like as a not American.
Right.
That's also something that takes some time to figure that out. So I think it took like half a year or more just to get like the visa and to get everything in place.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy now that everything worked out.
Man, you had a lot of stuff kind of working against you, like having a time limit for your visa and needing to afford a really expensive city.
Well, yeah.
You've
I guess like
overcome a
everyone
lot.
that works in New York has to
That's
do
true.
that too.
That's very true. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Simon says this is a popular color palette. He captured something similar. Nice. Yeah, it's a very emotional color palette, I think. Cool. In chat, if you're interested in seeing a specific project, please let us know. What else do you want to talk about?
Maybe let's look at my website.
Oh, cool. Yes, your website is awesome. I especially love this little spot down here.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe we just look at that.
Perfect. So you have your work, and then you have your play.
Yeah.
What's the story?
So I wanted to create a part on my site just to throw everything that I do kind of for fun, but isn't like a whole project or isn't a whole case study. And I eventually started out doing those weird kind of blocky illustrations during my last full-time job. I was working in advertising for 2 years. I always wanted to try it out, but I also found out that I was in a more like managerial role, so I was a design director and had to put like together a design team, and I ended up sitting in a lot of meetings.
And you're like, I want to make
exactly,
stuff.
And I really missed doing things with my hands and designing things, so I started doing those illustrations just for fun and no purpose, and eventually started to make those blankets and like fabric prints out of it.
So nice. And is this kind of like a supplemental income for you, or is it more just for fun?
No, there's no income. I'm not really selling those blankets. I'm just doing them. Like if friends want some, I send them or I make them, but I don't make any money out of it at all.
Yeah. Wow. This is awesome. I think this is such an important thing, especially if you are working on something that maybe you don't love or it's not super inspiring. You have to still play.
Yeah, and it helps. I think it really helps even if you don't have the work in your portfolio that you eventually want to do. I think it sometimes helps to just create it by yourself and then put it out there and see what's coming back.
Right. Are these like court, like tennis court and a
basketball court and a tennis court.
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah, just for random fun. So I did this illustration of basketball.
I saw this
up there, and then made a series out of that.
Man, I love it, and the work itself is really beautiful and looks like it belongs in your professional website.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I love this so much. We've got a meet in chat. Simon says this has a super modern quilting feeling. These are like 21st century quilts. I agree. I would like one as a rug, please.
Oh yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah.
I have no idea where to make rugs, but...
Good question.
Yeah.
Cool. And what's the story with your website? Do you use it mostly like to get clients or?
Yeah, it took me really long to finally get this website up. I think I haven't updated in like 4 years, but I just put it up like 2 or 3 months ago. And yeah, I think it really helps also just for me personally to keep it updated, to put up work that I hope to like get in future as well.
Yeah. It looks like you not only work on paper goods, but also like actual products.
Yeah, we could look at this product. So I was earlier mentioning, so I did a lot of freelance while I was working full-time in New York too.
Right.
And one of the first clients in New York was this jewelry designer called Anna Sheffield. And she has this kind of sub-brand called Bing Bang Jewelry, and she asked me to rebrand it. So it's a kind of very young and like happy and kind of cute jewelry brand that's sold at Urban Outfitters and other stores.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was really fun to work on that, do all the packaging. And then she asked me to design this. It's like actually a cigarette case.
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And she asked me to do an illustration for it.
I love that.
But don't use it as a cigarette case.
Yeah, I was
use
gonna
it for
say,
something else.
Put some business cards in there. Hide some Tic Tacs or whatever. Very nice. I love this. I love the jewelry and the products as well.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. So you didn't just do jewelry.
Exactly. So she had a bunch of kind of small products in her brand that she asked me to design as well.
Right. So how did this connection come to be?
That actually came through Behance. So came through Behance. They found me up on there, and I worked with them for 2 years almost to work on different projects.
Wow, that's awesome. If you don't know, chat, Behance is an awesome way to get work. I've heard that time and time again. But there's also a jobs board too. So if you're looking for maybe some contract work, you can check out the jobs on Behance. Very, very cool. So that's really cool that this portfolio also acts as something that can help you in your career as well. What do you think is important to show in your portfolio if you want to get work?
I think it's just really important to show the type of work that you want to get.
Yeah.
I personally think, because I looked through a lot of portfolios while I was in my full-time job, and I personally just really like to see like the breadth of work that people do, and I wouldn't put like too many projects on. I would like really focus on top projects that people are into and that they want to show.
What you're really proud of, and like Verena said, the kind of work you want to get.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And I think that's what's important with personal projects as well. Like you can totally make up a project, say your dream project, and maybe it'll come true. Who knows? I'm interested in this, NYC service posters. So it has some illustration elements in it. I love that.
It does, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I do illustration, but I wouldn't call myself like a full-on illustrator, but I do those like graphic illustrations. So this project I did at Sid Lee, which was my last full-time job.
Okay.
And was the first project that I worked on while I was there. they had the City of New York NYC Service as a client, and it was a pro bono project. So New York Service is the volunteering arm of the City of New York, which means people can kind of go and sign up to do volunteer work.
Right.
But they did have an issue with people don't know about it, especially young people don't know about it.
Yeah.
And they asked us to do a campaign, a poster campaign in the city that speaks to a younger audience.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I worked with a copywriter who came up with those fun lines.
I love this. School your colleagues.
Yeah, we just did these kind of growing illustrations around.
Yeah, and I think it really does have a young voice. It would definitely catch my eye on the streets. Cool. We've got Martin in chat. Hello, Aisha, Adolfo, Anna. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Hey.
Super cool. And then them all together.
Yes.
Nice. So did you have a whole team? Like you said, you had a copywriter and yourself designing. Was there any other input?
I just got illustration help from my sister actually,
Oh.
and like a junior designer.
Yeah. Wow, this is cool.
Yeah, so eventually we thought that it would be fun to use those patterns and to create workwear. So whenever people go volunteer, they could wear those patterns.
Yeah, right. Everybody will be like, where'd you get that? You have to volunteer for it.
Yeah.
Little jumpsuit, love that.
For gardening.
I would wear that. So cool, doing it for the green. A full video. Wow, we have a question from chat. Bobio wants to know, how did you manage your freelancing NYC requirements and a full-time job? So you had a full-time job, you were paying for a super expensive place, trying to get your visa, and you were freelancing. How did you
I don't know
this?
anymore, but
You're like, I blacked it out.
but I
don't
feel like
remember.
as a graphic designer, it's almost a common thing to do. That you take on freelance work aside from work. Of course, it depends like how crazy your full-time job is, but yeah.
Let's play this in the background while we answer another question from Kevin. What do you think about millennials and brands who hunt for them? What do you think the millennial wants and needs when you design for them?
In brands, it's a hard one to answer. I mean, I think authenticity in a way is very important.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really about transparency and authenticity and looking for like realness in a brand
Right.
to make it feel approachable.
Definitely. We want to be approachable, maybe kind of fun and fresh.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, there was even an app put in there?
There's also an app that we designed to sign up to
Jeez.
be able to volunteer.
That's what I'm noticing about your projects. It's very a wide scope. You do all kinds of things for one project.
I mean, here the app was designed by another designer, so
you just gave the
there's
assets.
a team. Yeah, exactly.
Let it go. Very cool. So we probably have time to maybe look at one more project before we have our in-person portfolio review. What sounds good?
Maybe let's go back to the website.
Bloop, bloop. Nice.
And scroll down.
Ooh. So much stuff.
What else?
It's all a blur.
If you scroll all the way down, maybe.
Okay, you're
sorry. We
keep
could
going.
click on that.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes I do this kind of graphic illustrations. That's a project I did last year for the Smithsonian Museum for the American in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. No big deal.
I did it like through another design studio.
Gotcha.
And they approached me because they saw the NYC service work. So they were into this kind of line art illustration.
Yeah.
And they asked me to lay out and to design those scrolls. So there's a lot of loose content, and they had a hard time kind of tying everything together.
Right. I'll scroll back up.
They they commissioned me to create those like really long illustrations that would tell the story about the content in a like easier and more digestible way.
Yeah. Everyone's clapping for you. Your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was saying we do feel like pop stars with our little headphones.
Yeah, I know. I never had one of those.
I know. You kind of look like Britney Spears with the blonde hair. You're like, oh.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
No.
Thanks a lot. Cool. So you made these visual stories that they could then plug their content into.
Exactly. So there were 3 different rooms, and they had 3 different colors and color palettes. And
Wow.
yeah, there were also physical objects incorporated into those scrolls.
Man.
It's really interesting also to learn about history.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm like trying to read these. What's going on? So how much back and forth did this take when you were working with the museum? And
There was a lot of back and forth, also because I was working with the architects that designed the space and the museum itself, and just the museum team already consisted of a team of 6 people, I think, because they all had different tasks or areas to cover.
Right.
So it took quite some time to get to that, just because there's a lot of content that needed to be moved around, and also the illustrations are laid out in a very, almost like a little bit of a rigid kind of grid system, so it always took some time to rearrange and redo things.
Wow. Did you have to start over at any point?
So yeah, a couple of times.
Oh no. How long did it take total?
I can't really, 3 months maybe or something.
Oh, jeez. But it turned out really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's so nice to be able to actually see your work in a physical space.
Yeah, I'm really into exhibition design too, and see things in space.
Yeah, and it's not only nice for yourself, but it's nice for your portfolio. Like, this is a real thing here. It's not just a mock-up. I really did it. Cool. Abhishek wants to know, how do you set pricing on your work and design? Because I always end up thinking that creative works are priceless.
It's a very tricky one. I mean, I'm still always struggling with that, but I think one thing helps to, there's different factors, like either you work for a big company where you know they have budget for work, and if the logo will be like super present and out there,
right, it's more
it's like a different thing too. But I think it sometimes helps to ask for a budget.
Like what are you working with? Yeah.
And then also, once you start out and you, for example, work on your first branding project, it helps to kind of list everything out, like all the things that you actually need to do, put some time against it, try to put some money against it. And then I always use like old projects as a template, and then figure out the pricing for
Right. So as you've progressed in your career, you can look back on previous stuff like, well, this much took me this much time and it cost this much. Nice. And Abhishek, I don't think you should be fearful, because the worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
So just, it's okay. You can do it.
Don't work for free.
Yeah, right. Unless you want to. Unless it's volunteer, I guess.
True. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So your work is beautiful. I would love to keep talking about it, but we have to bring Isabel on if she's over there. Maybe not. Hey, Adobe Live. Is Isabel here? Oh, cool. So she'll be here soon, so that means we can look at more of your work. Yay.
All right.
Cool. What other projects?
What else could we look at?
I mean, we could look at all of it, but...
Do you want to look at something specific, or?
No.
I don't know.
I'll let you pick.
We could look at this
Cool.
thing.
I like this one. More illustration.
That's another weird kind of graphic illustration. I did this with my partner, Tobias Schneider, and we were asked by JPL, which is like the Jet Propulsion Lab in LA.
No big deal.
It's like an arm, it belongs to NASA.
Yeah.
And we were asked to create those weird future club
I'm proud to be human.
Which was first just like for their eternal use. They celebrated, I think, like 70 years, or maybe I'm wrong.
Right.
60 years of their existence.
Right.
So they asked 10 different designers to create those illustrations, which were stickers and badges. And they already gave us the title for what it should be about. So we did some research about how does dark matter and dark energy actually look like, and then we tried to kind of replicate it in illustration.
Whoa, this is some like conspiracy stuff. It looks like Illuminati kind of. I love it. And so it was just used internally, right?
Yeah, it was used internally.
Very cool. I love this. I would take a sticker of that for sure. Tim says it's very official looking. Thanks, Tim. Alvaro says, really cool. What's up, Alvaro? Thanks for joining us. Massimiliano says, really nice portfolio.
Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look at my sheet really quickly to see the notes. Cool. So we are going to start with our online review. And actually, he's in chat. So we are going to go to our portfolio review, and we'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. So this is the portion of our show where we do some portfolio reviews. And like I said, this first person is in chat. We just saw him. It's Alvaro Melgosa. Thank you for being here, Alvaro. We are excited.
Alvaro.
Hello, hello. We're excited to see your work and see what Verena thinks of it. So before we jump into the projects, I like to just look at the portfolio as a whole. What kind of info Alvaro gives us, what he says about himself. So we have kind of a background. So super awesome that you have your email address. Thumbs up on that. Make it really easy for us to find you. You got your portfolio website.
He has his own logo even.
Yeah, super clean.
Yeah.
And then it says art director, designer, graphic designer, illustration, motion graphics. Cool. And then some work experience. Always love to see that. And then just looking at it like this, what do you think of these thumbnails? Do you think they work?
Yeah. Totally.
They're interesting.
It's really nice that there's a lot of different colors. Every project looks very distinct.
Right.
Looks great.
Very
also
cool.
different types of projects, digital illustration.
Yeah, right. I love seeing that, like you said, the breadth of work that someone can do. But it isn't overloaded with projects,
right.
Which is nice. Cool. Does anything really catch your eye that you want to talk about? Or Alvaro, if you let us know in the chat if there's a specific project you want us to look at, we'll look at that next. But first, let's pick one. What do you think?
Let's look at the first one.
Cool. 36 Days of Type, number 4. A little bit of an intro, and I'm guessing this is the same text, just in English. Awesome. Aims to create a space of creation around typography and its infinite graphic possibilities. Very cool. We see you used Illustrator and After Effects. Maybe there's some animation happening. Cool.
Very cool.
Trippy.
Yeah, I always love those projects where I feel like a lot of designers do that, where you give like a certain amount of days for a project, and or you do one illustration a day.
Yeah, it says a couple of things about you. One, it says that you can like start a project and finish it. It says that you are interested in doing a full-fledged project and not just one-off pieces. I think companies really like to see that.
Yeah.
Cool. I think these are all pretty successful.
Yeah, it looks really fun.
And then all together. Whoa. And then animation. Yes, this is what I wanted. Please load, please load. Perfect. Whoa, yes, there is animation from After Effects. Love it. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to do 2 online portfolio reviews. Nice. I think something that's really successful with this is the letters that have a looping GIF.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That one just kind of ended and then went away. But I think the ones that go out and then come back in,
I agree,
work better. Like that one. Whoa.
Yeah, so true.
Cool. Do you think any of these are specifically more successful than others?
I think it would be also fun to see, like, because this is presented as almost like a set of alphabet, to see like a word typed out or how it looks together.
Nice.
But it's obviously, I think, like about motion, about speed in a way.
Yeah, there's definitely some velocity to this.
I think it would be nice to see more, like there's a lot of these kind of like steps ones. It would be nice to see like even more variety between
different styles.
how the letters are executed.
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah,
It's very
and
unique.
it looks very good.
And the squiggly L. Nice, let's see if Alvaro let us know. I don't think so. So we can look at whatever one we went to. Nice job, Alvaro. I'm interested in the personal branding. 'Cause this is what he thinks of himself. Ooh, animation. Nice. It has that same velocity and kind of warped nature. Cool.
I'm curious about this little thing at the top. What does it mean?
Yeah, I was
Why
curious.
is there a gap in the...
Yeah, too. And then I noticed that on his name, I think there's an accent above the A, which is
That
a
might be
super creative way to kind of say, like, hey, my name's special. It has an
Yeah.
accent.
That might be like the abstraction of the square.
Exactly. Cool. And then, like I said, some type exploration, some Gotham, showing the colors, but within your shape language that you've created. A little bit of
Business
this.
cards.
Nice, cool little digital one.
Yeah, I like that he uses a lot of animation.
Yeah, like Verena said earlier, like show the work that you want to get. So animation, branding.
He seems to have 3 different types of business cards.
Right. Yeah, which one do you think is the most successful?
I mean, I'm curious about the hello. I think the other ones where you use your little broken out typography logo thingies are a bit more interesting, just because they're a bit more distinct. I think the hello is not as... I think it's like a nice touch, but I don't think that it needs to go on the back of a business card.
Right. It's not as strong. I agree. Anyone could do that, but this is specifically you. Really nice. What do you think about yellow used as the pop color?
Yeah, on white, it's a bit tricky to read sometimes.
Right.
I think it's okay if it's like printed really nicely. If it's like either a Pantone color or if it's foiled, it totally works.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was foiled. It'd be really cool. Mocked up again. Ooh, and like a little bit of a brief. Maybe the same thing, like maybe the hello might not be necessary both places.
Yeah, I almost think it's not necessary to have that in that place.
Right.
And you kind of repeat it on the back side as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Right. Ooh, I like that. Nice craft paper texture. It'd be really cool if this was foiled as well.
yeah.
Little texture piece,
Wow.
full layout, and then mocked up on a device.
I like that iMac mockup. It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute. It's kind of like blink.
Yeah.
Nice. No problem, Alvaro. And please do let us know if there's a specific project you want us to look at. We'll probably have time to look at one more. Maybe we can look at one more illustrative.
Sure.
Cool. Well, I guess this might be the only really illustrated one. Let's see.
Oh, this is in Spanish.
Darn.
So unfortunately.
Yeah. But it seems like it might be for a Facebook app, like a character design. Cool.
So it's a little present.
Cute. Very cute little style.
So he shows that he's able to do different sizes. Like we saw something very graphic before.
Right.
Now that feels a bit more
Nice.
hand drawn.
Cool. I also like how these are laid out. Just they're built clearly for Behance. They knew the sizes and the dimensions.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was
Sword. Or
yeah, a
something.
knife.
Yeah, me too.
It's like wow. I think maybe it's talking about giving books as a gift. Like these are different genres of books.
Oh, yeah. Very cute.
Maybe this will tell us. More animation, definitely one of your strong suits, Alvaro. And it looks like you worked with a team with Baptiste on this. So nice job. What do you think is the strongest thing about this project, and what do you think that they could maybe work on for next time?
I really like how the project is presented. I think it's very clear, the whole structure that you show, the context that it is a Facebook
Right.
app. And yeah, it's really nice to see all the illustrations kind of laid out big
Right.
underneath.
Right. Yeah, I think you kind of tell us why we should care about this. Right up front, you say this is a Facebook app, this is what this is all about, so that I'm more inclined to actually want to learn about it.
Right.
Nice. So great job, Alvaro. We commented a lot
Great
on
job.
your strong type skills and maybe just cleaning up some of your design decisions, like maybe not having hello on both pieces of the paper and that kind of thing. But great job. Keep up the great work.
Great work.
Yeah, so let's move on to our second portfolio. And before that, we'll check in with chat. Simon, Alvaro says, thanks for your appreciation. No problem at all. Anel, hello. Yuri, hello. Rasim, hello.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so this is Aleksandr, and he is from Ukraine. He is a teacher and an artist.
Is he here too?
I don't know, are you here, Aleksandr? Let us know in chat. This is clearly very different from the other portfolio, more illustration-based, which I love.
Very cool illustration style. I love those faces.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at those. But first and foremost, Aleksandr, got to get that email on there, or a link somewhere. Please. I mean, messaging on Behance can work.
It would also be nice to read about like a little bio or something.
Yeah,
what
definitely.
Are you up to?
Wow, there's a lot of work here. Okay, cool. Let's look at faces first. Nope. No word from Aleksandr yet. I love
Those
these.
are really fun.
Like this one.
What are those for? Oh.
Yeah. Same thing with your
What is it?
like front page. We don't get much info, and we don't get much info here, so it would be awesome
Yeah.
to know what this is.
So is this a commission or did you just do it for fun?
Yeah, and he published it today,
Oh yeah,
so
true.
maybe he's still working on it.
I think they look really nice and like artistic in a way. I'm also curious about the technique that he used. It looks like kind of screen printed.
Yeah,
but
right. Definitely. I believe they're probably made in Photoshop with like textural brushes, because you can see this like
true.
stepping here, which may be intentional, but if you really want to make it look traditionally made, it's important to not push brushes past the size that they can be effective. So maybe you might have made the brush too large, so it got a little fuzzy, but really nice shapes and colors.
Yeah.
Good color choices. Nice. What's next? Let's look at this little salute. Maybe this is more of a collection of illustrations.
This also looks like it was made in Photoshop.
Oh, the iPad.
Oh, I see.
Maybe Sketch. Nice. Love that. I love the roundness of his hair, and then this round piece and these round pieces.
I'd also love to know what the idea behind this illustration is. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what this guy is doing. Wearing like a, what is it, like a gramophone on his back?
Right. I don't know. These are obviously, they have stories behind them.
Yeah.
We need to know more.
Yes, please.
I like this. The animals are waiting for him to shower, and the giraffe is
Super
peeking
cute.
over at him. Inappropriate. Maybe we'll click so we can see the whole thing. Ooh, this is cool. I love these figures. She's got so much energy in her pose.
This almost looks like this could have been drawn on paper,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
maybe also this looks very
Right.
Photoshop.
You have a really nice textural and analog style to your work, Aleksandr.
Yeah, so good use of Photoshop brushes too.
Yeah, nice. Ooh, jelly monsters.
Those are cool, actually. I love how he manages with those like few highlights to make it feel transparent.
Yes, definitely. And you would think this idea of like a jelly monster with some poor human inside would be kind of scary, but they seem like they're comfortable and they're happy and they like living in there.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a lot of contrast and juxtaposition in your work. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks very much like a story too. I can almost imagine this like being a kid's book illustration.
Yeah, like a
I really
dark-
like the character. I think he has a great sense of playing with scale and like coming up with very unique characters.
Yes, I agree.
So definitely talent there too.
Yeah. These characters look like almost like a very naive young hand, but you can tell you definitely have skill with these highlights,
Yeah.
these shadows. So it's very intentional. That's very cool. Nice, more of a sketch.
Very different style too. It's kind of interesting because they're also different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's anything that he like kind of loves the most, or like where he would say like this is a specific style that he likes to pursue.
Yeah, you obviously have a strong style that we are attracted to and interested about, but we just want to know more. What's the story? Because they have a story. All right, I'll let you pick the next one.
Musicians, maybe?
Musicians Part 2. We know these guys. Got some Beatles action going on. Playing with the scale again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting faces.
Yeah, you caricaturize them very well.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Wait, what DJ is that?
I don't know.
supposed to be?
Anyone in chat know this DJ? It's cool. I love the mixture of the painting and then kind of just like the drawing. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
cool. These hands are so good.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like when people draw Michael Jackson, they really focus on his face because
Right.
it's so iconic. But you're like, no, the movement, the dance move is what people really know.
So true.
Nice. Who's this? Looks like it could be anybody.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just not inclined. Maybe someone with a famous blue guitar.
And wine.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know
Let's
Elvis
bring
had
wine.
blue suede shoes, but this doesn't look like Elvis
No,
to
the
me.
hair.
Let me know, chat, if you know. Oh, nice. Yeah, even the composition of these is very dynamic, like where he pulls it off the page. These
Why is
diagonals.
one hand different?
Oh, a different color?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So again, I think it would be nice to have names of musicians.
Right.
We only recognized two so far.
And I'm sure they're all very well known.
Yeah,
Whoa. Wow. Those feet.
that's really cool.
Wow.
Oh, is this John Lennon? Yoko
Yeah.
Ono? Yeah.
These are such great characters. I think it's
Yeah,
our
very artistic.
it's our usual critique of like, give us more information,
Oh,
please.
here's a
There's the photo.
photo.
Oh, cool. I don't recognize him. Some process, painting. So he does the sketch first and then kind of paints in. Mostly on multiply. Nice.
Or is it a calendar?
Oh, it was Michael
Petruccini.
Pucciani. Nice. So yeah, same thing, Aleksandr. Super great art. We just want to know more. Give us
Yes.
more info. Cool. I'm still like looking over, like, is he here? Is he
I
here?
know.
Cool. Well, let's look at one more. I'll let you pick.
This one.
This little cutie. Maybe another. Oh, tell me a story.
Yes, tell us the story about the illustrations,
Tell
please.
us, please. Aleksandr. Is this maybe Ferdinand the Bull? I don't know. My mom
Cute.
told me that I'm a strong girl.
Very
Cool.
sweet.
Yeah, we have some info. It's nice
I
to know.
love how this figure is pop right into the hair.
Yeah. Nice. Smile for the birdie. This is dark.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
I love it.
I love also the contrast because of what you just said. Like, there's a dark side to the illustrations, but there's also very kind of cute and upbeat side.
Yes.
So you can pull off different styles, which is great.
Nice. Collect only positive emotions. The little tail is throwing up the good emotions. Cute. Wow, this is like a full landscape. This is a really interesting style.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should get into kids' books illustrations, maybe.
Kind of like off-kilter, kind of dark children's books. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I can also see those because many of them are almost like scenes out of like an animation or out of a movie.
Yeah.
So I could totally see those being animated too.
Right. I think that maybe, I love your style, Aleksandr, but maybe your concepts are even stronger. So interesting and not like something you see often.
True.
Nice. Ooh, I don't like these though. That's a personal thing. The tentacles. Not into
I
it.
don't like these either.
Nice. Cute. Bunch of little strawberries. How would you describe this work? Like if you had to describe it to someone else?
Yeah, it's very eclectic. There's just a lot of different components. I think obviously you like to play with different techniques.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've never seen you do this before where it's the dark. Maybe you drew it all in black and then filled it in with color. Let's play. What? A little crying onion.
I think it would be nice to see like work a little bit more kind of grouped, or maybe if you are into a very specific style, or if you feel like you want to get commissioned to do illustration, I would almost like get rid of the ones that are maybe like old, or the ones that you don't love as much, and like really try to define your style and your technique, and also tell people about the technique that you're using.
Right. Yeah, this is such a wide breadth of work. It would be important to kind of group things together. So nice job, Aleksandr. Very cool. I'm going to definitely come back to your portfolio and just look at more of these to get inspired, because these ideas are bonkers. Cool. Martin says kids would not get this. Maybe not, but maybe they would.
No, I think it's like, a cool, sophisticated kids book. I can totally see that.
Right. Kids will surprise you, I think. Very cool. So we just have a couple more minutes with Verena. Thank you, Aleksandr, and Alvaro for sending your portfolios. Awesome work. Keep it up. Excited to see where you go next. So we probably have time to maybe open up one more as we're kind of closing out. Is there anything else you want to share?
We could look at maybe the first project.
First one.
Here.
Perfect.
So this is a branding project for brides gowns that are sold online. So it's kind of like a modern kind of concept of getting a dress.
Yeah.
The dresses are very kind of simple and minimal, and the whole brand is about simplicity in a way.
Yeah,
and the founder, the girl, wanted a logotype that is very like simple but intricate at the same time. So we came up with this kind of custom logotype. The brand is called Minka. Wanted to show a lot of like detail that kind of goes in the fabric, into the sewing of the clothing pieces.
Cool.
And for this project, we worked on like a lot of different printing methods. We played with like embossing and debossing at the same time, so you'd always feel the lines and like a subtle texture if you get business cards or note cards in your hand. Yeah,
there's depth to it.
And wrapping paper.
Very cool. I think this is such a great combination of all of your work. You can do books, you can do clothing for children and adults, you can do everything. So everyone, please feel free to follow Verena on Behance. Check out her portfolio. You can check her out on Instagram as well. Thank you, Verena, for being here. This has been so inspirational.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so stick around. We've got Christine and Mr. Sagmeister coming up next in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.